exciting episode of $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy, and it's a haul video, but first we'll show you what's going out. This whole thing is filled with things going out, so had a decent enough weekend over here, a couple of other things over there, so decent enough weekend. So went to the good flea market. Haven't gone in a few weeks, it wasn't raining, so we decided to go there, and I kind of should have known it was going to be a good haul day when I first walked in. And the first person that I walked up to his stand saw me and said, "Hey, I got some paper for you." And he went and he showed me this over here. Occupation of Japan by the 2nd Marine Division. Not the greatest of shape, but it doesn't matter. These kind of things always sell. They were made for the various soldiers that took part. So they didn't make a lot of these to start with. Usually something other like this, and I've not looked this one up, but off the top of my head goes for $50 to $75 probably. He goes, $10, take it, and I took it because, again, I know that kind of thing sells. Then I went over to another table. For $10, they had this Pro Draft. Definitely take a look at this. He made a little note on here with cards. Now, I had this when I was growing up. They're not all the right cards that go with it, but these cards over here, they came with some 1974 Topps football cards, and some of them have different poses, like Bob Windsor, for example, has a different pose from what came with the cards and what came elsewhere. You also can tell because of the number of asterisks on the back, so that's a little bit of an insider tip to you on how to tell those. This is just going to go right in the collection just because I've got the cards somewhere or other, but I don't really know where. But for $10, can't go wrong. Just the commons and high grade like that are worth more than that just because of the scarcity. Walking around, and it's always a good deal, or you know you got a good deal when you bought something and another dealer sees it and says, "What'd you pay on that? I would have bought it if I had seen it." They had 15 of these Star magazines, you know, Eric Estrada, Cheryl Tiegs, Dolly, for $10. They wanted $1 a piece. I just grabbed all of them that they had, and they said, "Oh, well, you're buying them all? How about $10? Cannot go wrong with that. John Travolta, etc., etc. These things always sell. People love them. They've got a lot of the stars from the late 70s on there. Just pick them up when you see them. You usually can get $15 to $20 a piece out of these. Even more if it's got you know, some of the large, like that one right there, will go for more because it's got Farrah on the cover. So can't argue with that over there. Paid $10 for the stack of 15 of them. There was an older gentleman that I dealt with before there. I haven't seen him. He said it was only the second time he made it to the flea market. Ended up making a pile. He's got some higher prices on stuff, but I do deal with them, and I said to him, "Oh, glad to see you." And I talked to him for a little while, and I said, "Hey, you always give me good deals." And he ended up cutting his prices by a fair amount. Just, you know, neat little things over here. You know, Miami Beach, catalogs, etc., etc. Some Rochester stuff, something for New Guinea, a Rave magazine with Grace Kelly on the cover. Now, if I were paying the regular prices, I definitely would not have done so, but he cut the price, and that shows that what you always do is you do deal with the same people over and over again. Also remind them that you deal with them. I don't know if he remembered me or not, but I do deal with them regularly, so I did point that out to him. Did pick up a couple of Hardy Boys books. The one's kind of not in the greatest of shape, but the one isn't bad at all, and it's got the dust jacket. I've got a whole bunch of these over here I have to get together and sell at some point or other, but I'll just throw this in the pile. They will sell with the dust jacket, so you can't argue with that. I don't like buying car magazines, as a general rule. The guy had them for $3 a piece. I said, "Will you do 2 for $5? He said, "Yeah, I guess so." Well, the only reason I bought anything at all is this had a Dune Buggies. And the Dune Buggies magazines always sell. This one here will go for $20, $25 by itself. So anything you see Dune Buggies, definitely pick up. So then I took some chance on a couple of others over here, Porsche and that kind of stuff, all from the 60s. This one here is really, really neat, from 1967. It's got all of the little miniature cars in it, like those. But I did see when I was looking through it did have a, and of course now I won't find it, which is fascinating. It's got the Batmobile in it, which is kind of neat as well. So going to highlight that as well when I go to sell it. Should definitely sell on that over there. So if I hadn't seen the Dune Buggies and a quick look through, I would not even have bothered to look. Did pick up, I don't do records very often, but this was a sealed record. I don't pass on sealed records when I see them, so that could be pretty good over there. I never know. I didn't pay very much for it, and I'm going to tell you why in a moment. So I've just got a couple of other things over here. The gentleman had these Jack and Jill magazines. He said they were, I forget even what price he said, but he said, oh, you want them all? How about $5? If they're Jack and Jill magazines from the 60s, you definitely have to check, or 50s, because a lot of times the centerfolds are missing. These over here are from the 70s. I checked one randomly and it was complete, so most of these will be. They kind of did away with the paper dolls and stuff. But like this one over here, John Travolta on it. Should go really well because the other thing over here had John Travolta. So just kind of list these kind of things all together. You got Santa Claus in the front cover, etc., etc. Again, can't argue. The guy gave me a bulk price. Just take them all out of there. So there's a dealer there that I deal with regularly. I've not seen them yet all year long. They put bins out. I ended up filling up 2 bins worth of stuff. Got some nice old Sears catalogs, things like that. Do pick these up if you see them. I really didn't even bother looking to see what was in there. 1983, 1971. I just grabbed the entire bin with these in there because I do know that they sell. There may even be a Christmas one in there. I don't even know. I just grabbed them all. Spring 1969, etc., etc. Just a random neighborhood kid was with me, and he earned breakfast today because I had him carrying stuff back to the car regularly. It was kind of funny. A couple of weeks ago, I was at a flea market, and one of our subscribers saw me and came up and was talking to me. And a random neighborhood kid was carrying stuff back to the car, and he said, "Geez, I got to get my own random neighborhood kid. I got to carry my own stuff back to the car." So he definitely earned breakfast this morning, helping me carry stuff because this is nice and heavy. But I got all of these Sears catalogs. I don't know, 7, 8 of them, something other like that. And then I just started filling stuff up. A whole bunch of Rochester local history, Sodas Point, Wayne County, Lyons, New York, Sodas Point, etc., etc., Sodas Shaker community. So just a lot of local stuff I got from the same dealer. Then I got some miscellaneous little paperwork. The Japanese student from 1918, that's probably going to be pretty good. Some old cookbooks, some printing stuff, processes for making deep etched zinc lithograph plates. Printing stuff does sell, so do pick it up when you do see it. Just miscellaneous stuff, a 1940 yearbook, which again, for the price that they're charging me, you can't go wrong on. Got a big pile of stuff over here. I'm not going to go through all of it, but a couple of things I'll just pan it on out for you. But a couple of things up on top I wanted to talk about real quick. And again, this is all part of the one deal. I saw this and grabbed it. There's a name right there. That's a Bolo, Edward Steichen. Definitely a Bolo on him. As soon as I saw that, I grabbed it because, again, I will, show a couple of pictures of the interior with that, and it definitely will sell just based off of his name alone. Another one that'll sell if you're around the Rochester area, pick up everything you can with Louise Brooks. She actually lived around this area for many, many years. Ties back in a really early video we have where we noted know your local history. She will show up on things around Rochester. She is highly collected. This will definitely sell, no doubt all about it. Picked up some Cashbox magazines, which are a lot of fun, and that was not in the best of shape, but again, I didn't really pick through the stuff. But they're really neat. They've got the records that were being released at the time, so these are all 1975 various records. So they're a lot of fun. Tony Orlando and Dawn, etc., etc. They're good to go through, kind of note the records that are coming out. They do sell. They're actually not as good as you think that they would be, though. They do sell slowly at about $20 to $25 a piece. You would think they'd be better, but they're actually not. Then I just picked up all the rest of the stuff over here. So American and Early Motor Trend. Youth Companion, which I don't really like selling, but again, I knew they weren't going to charge much of anything for it, so I kind of threw it in the pile. On through other magazines, Ms. Magazine, Ripley's Believe It or Not coloring book, with some neat little things in there as far as that stuff goes. So neat stuff over there. And as part of that deal as well, did pick up the American Pressman, which I've noted in the past. So A, it's a printing thing, but B, it's got the whole Art Deco to it. So it definitely will sell just because of the Art Deco element. So do note Art Deco on it. We've talked a lot of times in Bolos about Art Deco. Definitely sells just because of that. We've got this menu, which I found really interesting, from the Criterion restaurant in Piccadilly Circus. Lions and Tigers and Bears, oh my. But the main reason why is because it's actually dated August 20th, 1938, which is interesting because you usually don't see fixed restaurants doing a daily menu like this that has a date on it and everything. So that's pretty neat over there as well to have that. Did pick up another item for my collection too out of there, which again, going into the Art Deco, just a really neat little item, and it was from the same dealers. So you can't argue with something other like that, especially because it didn't cost me anything. So that's pretty neat with the box. These I just kind of saw, and I said to the Random Neighborhood Kid, a couple of huge companions hiding out down there in the bottom. Said to the Random Neighborhood Kid, oh my gosh, these are good, and I was just piling them up. The Stars and Stripes, right after World War I. This is the 8th issue of Stars and Stripes. I didn't even bother looking at the rest of them. I just saw that they were Stars and Stripes from right after World War I, so I just kind of grabbed them all. Never had anything that early in those. Worst case scenario, I'd throw them all together in one big lot, but that definitely will bring in some money on those. So what did I pay for this stuff over here from that dealer, you'll ask? Well, I brought the stuff up to him, and I said I can fill up 2 bins, and gave me the totes and everything as well. And she said, well, what were you thinking? And I said, I really don't know, because I truly don't know. And I had told Random Neighborhood Kid earlier, I said, if we picked up all this stuff for $100, we're getting a good deal. I mean, we're definitely going to make money on it. She said, how about $30? I said, you're more than fair. I gave her the $30 for it. And then I made a big mistake as I was leaving. I'm walking out of there. I'm carrying a tote, and Random Neighborhood Kid is carrying a tote. Walking out, I went and I saw some sheet music. So I just picked it up to take a quick look through it, because I know I had looked through it before, but I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. She said, well, you bought a lot of stuff. Throw that in your pile for free. I said, what? She goes, take it. I go, oh, I hate you. So she started laughing. And so I got all of this sheet music over here. I don't think there's anything particularly good in there, but got it for free. So you just never know on that stuff. So it kind of ties into another thing that we've talked about a lot in videos, that you got to buy when you find the stuff, because you just never know when you're going to find decent stuff again. It's always out there, of course, but these people, I've dealt with them for years. They give great deals. I just was putting anything at all that was remotely good in there. Gave them $30, and I guarantee you easily the best item in here is worth well more than $30. I just don't know which one it is, unfortunately. But, you know, you're talking, I got, I don't know, 75 items from 60 items from something or other like that I was able to pick through. They were happy making the sale. I mean, I got a couple of bins out of it too. No covers, unfortunately. Got a couple of bins out of it. So all in all, it was a really good trip down there. Just going to be some really, really good stuff listed. If you see anything in here that you like, start taking a look at the auctions on Papergoy, because he will be putting this stuff all up hopefully very, very shortly. And hopefully you got some good tips out of this. Do hit the like button. And again, I do enjoy bringing you the haul videos, because I like to tell you, A, the deals that are out there and what you really can get, tell you how I go about picking up the things that I pick up, and also kind of point out to you what it is I bought and why I bought it. You know, the Art Deco, the printing, the early Stars and Stripes, etc., etc. So that way, when you're out there sourcing, especially if you're not heavy into paper, you at least have an idea on it, and the idea as to what people actually do sell the stuff for. So if you see a dealer that's got the similar kind of stuff, back of your head you say, hey, I know Papergoy picked that up for $10, $5, $3, and you can kind of got a starting point, so that when the person's coming back at $25, you can say, no, that's way too much for what it is. Or if they're coming back with a low price, you can definitely pick it up as well. Can't argue with the trip. It was a really good day down at the flea market. Now hopefully it's a really, really good day listing. Hit the like button, and we will see you next video.